Tonight on All Systems Go, we cover some big news from Microsoft, plus a historic moment at the Emmy Awards, a look at some of our cast's guilty pleasures, and a trip into the AI dungeon. It's all happening here tonight on All Systems Go, which starts right now. Good evening, and welcome to All Systems Go. I'm your host, Nathan Welsh, and let's get right into the news. The 72nd Annual Primetime Emmy Awards were held this past Sunday, honoring the best in television over the past year. Among the winners, one in particular stood out, Canadian sitcom Schitt's Creek, whose sixth and final season took home a whopping 7 awards, including Outstanding Comedy Series. But on top of that, it also made Emmy history in more ways than one. We go now to our local Schitt's Creek fan, Darian Bolin, for more. So, Darian, what awards did they walk away with?
They walked away with, as you mentioned, Outstanding Comedy Series, along with Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series, Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series, and also all the Lead and Supporting Actor awards. They're the first comedy series to win all of those awards in 1 year. They are the most awarded comedy series in Emmy history, but just based off of that one award. And Dan Levy, who is the co-creator and also a writer, director, and a star, he is the first person to win an Emmy in all 4 disciplines in one night. And if you're interested in watching the show, the first 5 seasons are on Netflix right now, and season 6, which is the one that just won all these awards, is hitting Netflix on October 7th. So go watch it. It's very good.
In a shocking move, Microsoft announced this week their purchase of ZeniMax Media, the parent company of Bethesda. Ladies and gentlemen, the only good thing about capitalism. The deal, worth $7.5 billion, means that Microsoft is now effectively the owner of franchises such as The Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and Doom. Bethesda will continue to publish under their own name, and all current PS5 timed exclusivity deals will be honored. We'll go more into details later, but here to talk more about this is our resident Doom expert, Dan Snyder.
Well, let me tell you, I am ecstatic about my new overlord. With Microsoft cracking the whip, my game will be released on time and finished. Woo! No more glitchy enemies, no more sloppy programming, no more PlayStation! Doom Guy also sends his regards, but his game gets finished, so, I'm more excited than he is. Well, I don't get 3 Dog down here, and Doomy wants his helmet back, so long, Wastelanders! Xbox rules!
Moving on. It's been a quiet year for the MCU, but the first trailer for the WandaVision series is getting people talking. This pastiche of American sitcoms reunites Scarlet Witch with the Vision in suburbia. Of course, this is all an illusion made by her reality warping powers, and the trailer hints at plenty of mysteries under the surface. Marvel has also said that the show will affect the future of the MCU. It's coming to Disney Plus in December. Let's jump over to Corey for more.
Thanks, Nathan. WandaVision is a really exciting show for the future of the MCU. In the trailer, we got to see Wanda and Vision each holding a baby. These children are most likely their 2 sons, Billy and Tommy, who also happen to be Wiccan and Speed, major players in the Young Avengers. Another point in this category is Cassie Lang already being in the MCU and Kate Bishop being confirmed. Plus, Ant-Man 3 is rumored to be introducing Kang the Conqueror. All in all, the Young Avengers, which are my favorite team, are almost guaranteed for the MCU, and I could not be happier.
After the break, it's confession time. Find out our guilty pleasure shows and movies. I just hope you don't think we're freaks when you see it. ASG will be right back. Everyone has a guilty pleasure, be it a movie, TV show, or game, that we enjoy against our better judgment. This week, we asked our team to tell us briefly about theirs.
It's hard for me to really pick one guilty pleasure show just because I watch a lot of bad, crappy quality things that I find enjoyment in. I use them as palate cleansers. I like Batman and Robin, Power Rangers, things that are bad quality trauma films. I think the best one and the best example is probably going to be the Sharknado franchise. I know some people don't enjoy them, and I know they're intentionally made to be bad, but they're still fun to watch. Just the ridiculousness of everything that happens is just amazing. So, Sharknado franchise. That's my guilty pleasure.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. I enjoyed Suicide Squad. Is it objectively bad? Yes. But do I still have fun? Also yes. I'm not going to vehemently defend this movie. I know it's bad. But this is one of those movies where I can turn my brain off and just enjoy the explosions and quippy one-liners.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. It's the voices.
I don't always feel like actively watching something, and this movie is perfect for that.
Hello everyone, it's Kayla here, and today I'm here to tell you guys about my guilty pleasure. I say that in quotations because I'm really not that guilty about it. Well, my friends, it's the TV show Friends. A staple of the 90s and early 2000s, it would never get away with half the situations dealt with today. Ross freaking out over his son playing with a Barbie. Cancel culture would ruin David Schwimmer's career in a second. So, that being said, I suppose Friends may not be as good as I think it is, I guess.
A guilty pleasure of mine is Supernatural. There's just something about shows made by the CW. They're just not good. But Supernatural, a show that I used to despise just from seeing it all over the place without actually ever having watched it. When I started watching it, I binged the whole thing in a matter of months, and that was when there were 12 seasons, and now there are 15, and the whole show's coming to a close, and I think I'll miss it.
Out of all the movies I have on my shelf, I think it's time to talk about this one in particular. The Cat in the Hat, starring the incomparable Mike Myers. You know him as Shrek mostly, but if you're into the real deep-cut cinema, then you know him as the Cat in the Hat. This movie has the perfect combination of cats and hats. It's got jokes where you wonder how they even managed to get that release in the theaters in 2003 in a movie made for children. If this was released into a world post-Tim and Eric and post-Eric Andre, I think it would have been better received. 10 out of 10, masterpiece.
Up next is a review of an animated cartoon. This one was handled by the tag team duo of Nicole and Corey. The title is too long for me to pronounce, so let's throw it to them.
And girls and deserve soft head pats.
The most lovable character is definitely Katarina. She's pretty dumb, but it's somehow charming.
We affectionately refer to said cinnamon roll as Bacarina.
Corey and I both agree that this show has strong, chaotic bisexual energy.
And we love it. It's iconic.
The show is also hilarious. It's very hard for media to make me laugh, but this one...
Everything else is just crushing on Katarina.
They had some development as children, but that's where it stopped.
And lastly, that ending was whack.
Yeah, it's not great, but I don't think that should stop you from watching it. We'd try to explain the ending to you, but honestly, we hardly even understand what happened.
All I know is that it felt too rushed and too forced.
Overall, we think you should give it a watch.
It's only 12 episodes, so it's perfect for anyone who feels that they're too busy to pick up a whole show.
Coming up after the break, Darian, Jeremy, and Kyle dive deeper into the Bethesda news on comment section. What does the purchase mean for gaming? Don't change the channel and don't close that browser tab. All Systems Go will be right back.
Big news from the gaming world. Microsoft is buying Bethesda. They're called Bethesda Soft now.
Surprise!
Yeah, no one saw this coming. They could not keep the Series S under wraps, but they could keep a $7.5 billion acquisition under wraps. So that's very interesting. So now that we know that, Bethesda is officially a Microsoft company, do we feel overall positive or negative about this?
A lot of people have said the quality of certain Bethesda games has dipped in recent years. But I think it is a positive step. Microsoft hasn't done anything, to my knowledge, negative to all the studios they own, and Bethesda is a well-established property that could maybe use a little bit more funding to keep that quality going. The other side of it is it's monopolization of the game industry, which sucks.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. As time goes on, I've grown to just hate Bethesda and they just like happen to own Doom and Arcane, which are things I like. But other than that, it's like I don't care about it. I don't know what to think of it. I will say that, you know, it's a huge big boy move by Microsoft.
And see, like, an interesting thing with this acquisition coming when it does is that Bethesda still has 2 timed exclusives for PS5 coming out that will now be like published by Microsoft, which is weird. Like, it's so weird that they are publishing 2 exclusive games for their rival console.
And we see, like, Microsoft just put Ori on the Switch. Like, they're not against letting their games live on other platforms. That's been their whole strategy in the past few years. I think you're going to see those games stay on PS5, you know, and, like, I think the inking on the contract is going to mean they are going to stay timed exclusives, but you're not going to see that happen in the future with other Bethesda games.
I did read that up until like recently, within the last like few weeks, there was discussion between Bethesda and Sony to try to get Starfield, whenever that comes out, to be a timed exclusive, and I think that price either went skyrocketing up or it's completely out of the question now.
If that was happening a few weeks ago, then like this deal must have come out of nowhere. Yeah,
especially like a size of this company. To just...
The size of both companies were like $7.5 billion. That is a lot of money.
How much?
7.5 billion, something like that.
That is a lot of bells.
So speaking of $7.5 billion, that is quite a bit more than the, I think, $3.5 billion that Microsoft paid for Mojang and Minecraft a few years ago. Minecraft is still the best-selling game of all time. Is Bethesda as a whole worth almost twice as much as that?
Just look at the names underneath it. You have Doom is huge. Dishonored.
Those are the only
Fallout.
important ones.
Fallout. No, but especially like Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls is probably a top 10. Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim.
Skyrim confirmed for the Xbox Series X.
It's a huge selling game. And that alone is probably worth at least what Microsoft paid, just because how much. I mean, that's a huge selling game. So I'd say yeah. Probably it's worth $7 million.
It's also the difference, like, they were a publicly owned company, whereas, you know, Mojang was, you know, an indie studio when Microsoft bought them, and, you know, just known for the one game. It's hard to say. I'm not an economist, but I think, like, it seems about right, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, that's fair.
Possibly.
You do get a lot more with Bethesda than you do with Mojang. So now that Microsoft has Bethesda, are there any potential franchise returns or, you know, long-awaited sequels that we want to see under the Bethesda soft umbrella?
I think, you know, Bethesda they already were sort of like digging at the bottom of the barrel, right? Like they tried to bring back Commander Keen. When it's not like Nintendo where they have all these properties and some of them like they just don't use. Like they have already been like trying pretty much anything with everything they own. So if this gives them more resources to like make that stuff actually quality and put people who care about it in charge of it, then I see that as a positive thing.
So do we see any potential for any sort of quality drop in Bethesda titles going forward? Do we think that they're gonna do we think the Microsoft's gonna like destroy this company, or is there hope?
I didn't know if they had quality to begin with. The Bethesda games, I mean, the recent Wolfenstein wasn't well received. Fallout 76 was a dumpster fire.
You know, it also depends, like, if we start seeing, like, you know, the State of Decay 3, you know, Everwild, if that stuff comes out and it's totally garbage, then it's like, okay, there's stuff to worry about, but I don't see that happening right now. That's just me.
See, the thing with me, though, is that, like, Bethesda has good games, but they're the ones that are not made by Bethesda.
Yeah,
they're a company I don't like that happens to own things I care about.
Yeah. Wonder if we could get, like, Bethesda characters in Smash now, because, like, they've already shown that Microsoft and Nintendo are kind of playing friendly in that space. Maybe we get, like, some Bethesda characters in there. Like, Doom Guy in Smash. You can finally be with Isabelle.
Does Bethesda make Rage? Is that them? That's them,
yeah, that's
right?
them, yeah.
Yes.
I want Andrew WK in something.
Get his music in, yeah.
They own him.
Get his music playing on Final Destination.
Andrew WK.
Play Ready to Die on Final Destination. That'll about do it for this panel. Thank you all for watching, and then stay tuned for what's coming up next. The AI Dungeon, right?
AI Dungeon.
Yeah.
You will be blown away.
Yeah, you'll be blown away.
You may think that Skyrim is the best RPG ever made, but
it's actually Fallout New Vegas.
See you then.
This week, Jeremy and Corey stepped into the future. They used the power of artificial intelligence to explore a dynamic text adventure. What kind of crazy situations did they write themselves into? Find out in this bombastic, full-color storyboard of AI Dungeon.
Corey, this is AI Dungeon. Using the power of technology, we can enjoy endless stories without having to be creative ourselves. The future is now. Are you ready?
I'm always ready, Jeremy.
You are Sir Corey, a knight living in the kingdom of Larian. You have a steel longsword and a wooden shield. You are on a quest to defeat the evil dragon of Larian. As you enter the forest, you see a large wolf staring back from the shadows. You draw your sword and charge at him, yelling, "Attacker!"
Attacker!
And swing your blade at him. You attack Wolf. The sword bounces off the wolf's skull. The wolf then leaps on you and bites into your neck, breaking the skin and severing your cardioid artery. You die seconds later.
That's carotid artery.
Oh, sorry. Activate. 1-up.
You see any dragons around these parts?
Any dragons round these parts?
If there are, they've flown off by now. I'm not a tracker like you, but I know that wolves usually leave tracks.
I don't want to deal with any more wolves.
Let's find the village.
Do quickly look for a village. No, I already rested. Oh no, not again!
Bruh.
Kill the wolf. You are set upon
Kill
by
the
bandits
bandits.
who rob you of all your possessions. Cast Burning Hands. The flame ignites the air and hands around the bandit, burning them. You call out for villagers to help you. The villagers come out and see you half naked with a burnt hand.
That is what they would see.
You begin to search the village, but after an hour of searching, you find nothing. You see a strip of leather with a key. Hey, that's something. Take the key. You head to the apple barrel, you open it, and immediately feel an overwhelming sweetness hit your olfactory senses.
Whoa. I say we eat the apples.
Eat all the apples. You bite into an apple and suck the sweet juice right out of it, not bothering to peel it. You reach the end of the barrel, there are only a few apples left. Eat them.
We said all the apples.
Yeah, we said all the apples, Sir Corey. You eat the. You finish eating all the apples in the barrel. You feel nauseous. Suddenly you
That
hear
was
a
a lot
loud
of apples.
crashing sound and coming from the direction of the village. You look around and run back inside of the village. As you enter the village and see orcish warriors beating on the village door. Oh, it's orcs. You charge at the orcs, waving your arms and screaming. You slap your hands. You slap your hands against your body, creating a fierce roar.
We're a very talented individual.
Yeah, we did lose all our stuff. The orcs are frightened by you. You leap in the air and throw your body against theirs, knocking out several of them. You feel the pain of several swords piercing your body. You roar, but don't falter. Activate Hulk mode.
We gotta do it.
This is our only resort. You change into you weren't and begin pummeling orcs with your fist. You send several flying into the air where they fly into unconsciousness, if not outright death. Keep smashing. Your punches get stronger and stronger, crushing the bones of the orc. Suddenly you feel a blade slash your side. You whirl around and see an orc holding a blade, which he swings at your head.
Whack.
Okay. You swing your arm, but the orc ducks and then kicks you, launching you into a near-life barrel of apples. Oh, we got them all, I thought. You smash against the wall, crushing the barrel and sending apple juice and bits of apple all over yourself.
Maybe there was a second barrel of apples. Eat the apples.
Yell. You feel your mouth fill with blood. You fall to the ground and think of all the lovely ladies you have back home. Okay.
Okay.
Let the ladies inspire strength. You whirl around and tackle the orc. You feel both of your fists fly into his face, knocking him out. Battle cry. You roar and a powerful feeling surges through you. You swing your arms wildly, nearly locking the swords out of the remaining two orcs' hands.
Throw the unconscious orc at the other orcs.
Ooh. The orcs are completely taken by surprise, but don't hesitate. The orc flies through the air and lands at the feet of an orc in a fur hat. Your blade shines as it deflects the orc's axe. You thrust your blade forward and stab the orc in mid-push, penetrating the orc's chest. You pull out the sword and kill the orc. Okay.
Iconic.
You win.
We won. We didn't even have to kill the dragon. I guess that's it.
I guess. Does that count as a victory?
I mean, the dragon's dead.
Yeah, so this is AI Dungeon. Try it out yourself if you like, and maybe you can become God, or be more interesting, or better. I don't know. See ya.
Bye.
Artificial intelligence sure is impressive. They can create dungeons as well as online gaming news shows. As a matter of fact, one of our cast members is a replicant. I'll let you figure out which one. Well, I'm afraid it's time to end another exciting edition of All Systems Go. Tune in next time to find out what happens over the next week. I'm your host, Nathan Welsh, signing off. Thank you, and good night.